Well, hello, my beautiful Virgo. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your yearly reading for 2026. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, I will be using guide chimes, so please be mindful to turn down your volume if you are someone who is sensitive to sound. So let us start your reading and let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Virgo, this is your yearly reading for 2026. I really can't believe I'm saying that, but here we are. Happy New Year, beautiful souls. We made it to 2026, and what a ride it really has been so far. Now, I will take it month by month for you and clarify with this deck over here there. So let us see what comes out for you. But at the very core of you, at a gut level knowingness, you may have been feeling like the world is different somehow. People are different, you are certainly different, and on the precipice of something monumental, something that you're trying to make sense of right now. All has not been what it seemed, and of course the bubble of illusion, it finally bursts this year to reveal the truth of what you will no longer be tolerating. It's a mass awakening across the board. In 2025, it revealed to you, who and what was not resonating with the authenticity of your soul vibration. So consider 2026 a renaissance of sorts, signaling the transition between two very distinct eras for you, both personally and globally. Now, astrologically, this year is significantly transformative. 2026 will be one of the most notable years of our lives. It's already kick-started with a lot of action there, both positive and, of course, not so positive. But this year, it has a revolutionary flavor. Now, I did mention that this was coming up, okay? This year is kind of like a reset button on so many levels. And we have officially entered a #1 year vibration. A desire for personal happiness, independence, prosperity, adventure, and of course spontaneity echo through the very core of your soul this year with a notable intention to strike out differently. So many incredible opportunities will be made available to you, and you'll experience so many firsts this year as well. And of course, Venus and Mars in the sign of Capricorn sets the year off to a fantastic start, an invitation to take deliberate action, reignite that spark, set your soul ablaze with passion, and by taking a first step, cultivating perseverance, you follow your heart, hit your personal targets, and aspire to the finer things in life. Now, this new chapter actually embraces the new version of you. But this year, it really does hit different. This is your comeback era, taking back your life and reclaiming your power, your sovereignty. And of course, grounded in a #1 vibration, you do not seek this year. You attract. A magnetic force to be reckoned with. You can feel it in your soul. Something big is happening. And this is where you rise and dial up the success levels on all that you've been dedicated to. Now, Jupiter's retrograde plays a very significant role at the beginning of 2026, encouraging you to revisit anything incomplete, to finish what you've started, double down on anything in motion already, and of course, even contemplates something bold, daring, and new. Jupiter wants you basically to benefit from all of your hard work, and it is keeping score. But major rewards cannot be fully realized, of course, until it moves direct in March. That's when Jupiter increases the auspicious outcomes for the collective and for you personally and the rest of the year ahead. Now, a perfect year to meet your soulmate if you're hoping to find the one, as it were. But remember, you are the one, so you're in a state of attraction right now. And even if you want to rekindle that spark in your current relationship, the stars align to reignite that flame. Now, astrologically, we've been teetering on the precipice of change for some time, especially on a global scale. And I almost do not want to delve into the 2026 energy for the year globally, of course, because it will be a chaotic road ahead. We can already see that, especially during February to April, and of course, eclipse seasons. Now, heavyweight planets like Pluto lock fully into Aquarius until 2043. Neptune locks into Aries until 2039, and Uranus returns to Gemini to lock in until 2033. That's a lot, and this year's lineup should be taken very, very seriously. These planets, they tend to align during historical revolutions, tech innovations, as well as conflict. Now, Saturn and Neptune have been conjunct before, of course, but never recorded at 0 degrees Aries. So this is monumental. This conjunction has collapsed empires in the past, triggered civil wars. In fact, when we look back historically, Saturn, Neptune, and Uranus, they tend to trigger uprisings like the Civil Rights Movement and, of course, the American Revolution. Now, I'm not saying that we're going to experience similar events, but it's always interesting to research what kind of revolutions took place during these type of alignments to indicate what we might have in store. Now, 0 degrees Aries, an emergence of something brewing. A new era is birthing something radically different from what we are used to. New leaderships, of course, power shifts, new currencies, new communication systems, and tech inventions that will advance humanity somehow. And of course, in order to build anew, one must abandon the old. 0 degrees Aries will keep us all guessing collectively which way humanity pivots. But Pluto in Aquarius, that will endeavor to give power back to the people. How we move forward collectively with that is totally up to us. Now, as with anything new, there might be glitches as we see switchovers to new systems. Power grids overloaded with upgrades may trigger more power outages, communication system errors, and internet disruptions than usual as systems try to adjust. We've already seen a lot of that happening even at the beginning of the year and even last year there as well. Now, also, I see new regulations in the travel industry being implemented in certain countries in the name of sustainability. Also, the fire horse comes out to play from February, reinforcing that rebellious flavor. A wild horse cannot be cajoled into something it does not favor. It bucks trends and it retains independence. So, on a personal level, these cosmic ingredients help you to remain curious, adventurous, to challenge yourself, try new approaches that are radical, and also a chance to stand firm in your belief systems, as well as offering you an opportunity to reinvent or revamp your life in some way and lean into your inner rebel to rewild. A very auspicious year personally, offering lots of good luck, a chance to change your fortune, and things are shifting, especially in terms of physical landscapes, but the earth itself is also transforming. Interesting that as we move into your birthday season, this card took a long time to get there. This is September. Of course, that's the end of Leo season into your season there at the end of August. But as we move into your season, that card took a long time to come out, which means you're deeply in thought during this period about your legacy and taking breaks. And, we'll get to that in a moment. But I just thought it was interesting that that's the card that took the longest to come out there. So you're doing a lot of cerebral deep dives, shall we say, in that month there. But as I was saying, the earth itself is also transforming, so we will see more heightened seismic activity in areas that are not prone to it. But the Ring of Fire will, as usual, elevate in seismic activity. In fact, even the other day, it lit up just after I mentioned it in a reading there. The whole of it lit up. And I see from the Bay of Bengal right around to the South Pacific Ocean, triggering water activity after large earth events. Notable hotspots will, of course, continue to be Turkey. I'm keeping my eye on that. Russia, Japan, and, of course, Indonesia, Taiwan, and I would say Chile, Mexico area as well. So a lot of areas becoming super active this year. I mean, they tend to be quite active, those areas, but we will see something a little bit larger later on. And of course, large volcanoes that have lain dormant for decades, even centuries, will become active again. And unfortunately, extreme weather events will only increase I mean, I wish it wasn't so. I don't want any of these things to occur, of course, but I gotta tell you what I see. And we will also see unusually large storms, maybe even 3 together that kind of become one massive one there. Flooding, tornadoes, even in unusual places, and even fire tornadoes will hit the headlines. I said this like about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and yesterday I saw a massive headline there that a fire tornado had kind of like majorly hit the headlines. So again, as I said, I don't want to see these things. I don't want them to happen, but you know, when I'm tapping in to give you a collective kind of like yearly thing of what could go on, the energies support these things, and I gotta tell you what I see. Now, of course, economically, we will see challenges continue, but in order to come out the other side positively, we must go through, and Neptune and Pluto continue to gang up on public figures to expose those who are up to no good. Time to have a bit of a cleanse in the system, shall we say, there, in order to purify this year, because it is a number 1 year. But ultimately, this year actually offers you personally a maverick shift to do something radically different, to plot twist if old ways are just not working for you anymore. The North Node has already forced you to look at what you have been tolerating that has caused you pain, sadness, or hardship. So with a smile in your heart, of course, this is the year to leave it in the dust as you gallop off to be free from it and take a walk on the wild side. 2026 is your year to just go for it. You know, the universe has got your back to be successful in all that you dedicate yourself to. And in this very act of doing, you reclaim yourself, your sovereignty, your power. 2026 will be the year to remember as you transcend all that tried to limit you. And of course, awaken to live your best life. And you're starting strong in January there. I mean, you may have eased your way into the year at the beginning of January. I'm doing this reading on the 11th of January there for you. So you're kind of like nearly midway through January. But your first card is Fecundity, Rain. Your focus on your finances. May have been a little bit of a pinch this month there where you're just trying to get back to some sort of financial strategy and structure there. But this is your predominant card for January, and you're all about growth, expansion this year. So this can be that you're making declarations to self, to declutter, detoxify, get your house in order in some way. But of course, this is about expansion. It's about planting ideas or seeds that will grow. And these can be expansions in many different areas like your friendship groups, your neighborhood, your money, your career opportunities, even like expanding your mind. So I feel like across the board, you're looking at everything this month on how you want to start something. This is you kind of promising to yourself that you're going to start new things and you're going to really nourish them, or you're really going to commit to them. So if you're the sort of person who tends to start something, whether it's like you start joining a group, for example, there may be some times where you don't attend. It can be that you're making a commitment to attend all of the group activity, or you're making a commitment to complete what you've started already. Remember, in January, we're still in the year of the snake, okay? So that means you're still closing out some cycles there, and things really kick off when February comes around there. But Fecundity Rain is basically about, you know, nurturing your finances, getting back on top of things, and protecting your inner peace. And for some of you, not all of you, some of you could actually be pregnant at this time. So it can be that you're nourishing baby on board, or twins, or however many children you're having there. Congratulations if that is you. Okay, I definitely see here that it will transform your life, and you may be making some adjustments during this month in order to grow with baby, as it were. But of course, not everybody is pregnant. I just saw that coming through there in the energy. But it's number 35. When you reduce this number, 3 plus 5 is 8, you're making a declaration to self. 8 is the number of the self. So I feel like this year, the conditions of greater prosperity will be met for you, and know that all will be well. This is a big month to cleanse yourself of old, outdated views. But on a practical level, this could be that, of course, you are erecting healthier boundaries there. You're promising yourself not to slip back into old cycles. A lot of you could be detoxifying, cutting something out at this time, and really making sure that you're not tempted to fall back into some sort of cycle of repeat. Now, of course, this is an energy of you having everything you need to grow and expand in areas that you want to focus on. So a lot of you are adopting like new mindsets and focusing on new experiences. You want something different, something bold, something daring. So you could be plot pointing things in your diary this year of things that you're really interested in or you're curious about. Remember, a seed is always like that first thought. So it could be that if you've always had a yearning to do something, you're searching it. booking it. You're making it happen. No more sitting there and dreaming about doing it. This is a period of action. And of course, this card, Fecundity Rain, means you are brainstorming new ways to compound wealth or make your finances grow. I mean, I gotta be honest with you. As I said here, a lot of you may be trying to make a little go a long way this month, either some excess spending from the month before, or it can be that, that you're just looking for new money-making opportunities. And I feel this is about you making your resources go a long way until you get paid again. So if you got paid earlier in December, maybe that you had to stretch out a certain amount of money and try and make it go as far as it can before you get replenishing your finances with your next paycheck, for example. And for some of you, if you've come to this reading and you're currently searching for a job, I feel like you renew your search there. But there's definitely something brewing there for you. I see a new money-making opportunity, a role here that feels very fresh and different. It feels like you get to migrate your skills into this role, definitely in a sector that you're curious about, but there may be many new aspects about it. So you may learn new systems or maybe even new knowledge that will help you grow. There's a role on its way for you in January there. And I gotta say this, so that you're prepared, okay? There may be some sort of blip before you start. And what I mean by that, it can be that the start date changes or there is some kind of challenge in February there on starting. It doesn't impact you in any shape or form really, but it could be frustrating. Okay, so it could be that there is some confusion about a start date, or perhaps there is a reschedule of a start date, or perhaps they even ask you to come in earlier. I'm not sure. It could even be something regarding the contract that needs to be revised. Always pay close attention to the small print because there's an energy here of being a little bit surprised in February. And I feel it's somehow connected to the January. So I would say, if there's a certain job spec where they expect you to kind of like hit certain targets or do certain things in this role, there could be something hidden or something that they didn't list as an expectation. And of course, perhaps there needs to be a bit of, head to head on that. So I don't see anything negative after that. I feel like there's a clearing of the air. That's what this card literally means. Okay, but there could be some sort of misunderstanding regarding a start in a new role. Okay, so whether it is you were told by one person you start on next Monday, right? And then you get like an official letter or document that says, we welcome you to the company and we can't wait to have you on the 1st of February or something like that. And you're like, oh, which one is it? So clarify in the month of January. You don't want any surprises and it will actually kind of nullify whatever this surprise is. Okay, so just coming out there. But I feel a lot of you are just back on the money making focus, as it were. And you may even move money around during this month. And some of you may actually launch new things. This is the seed of an idea. So new technology, new apps, new banking devices, for example. So it could be that you're opening up new accounts, financial accounts where you get a better yield, or there's a financial incentive to move an account. So it could be that, if you join this financial institution, they give you some sort of like financial incentive, like $100, or they, maybe investments in stock or something like that. I don't know anything about that, but maybe there's something new here that you're interested in that could be a financial deal. Always get good advice by someone who is qualified in the industry to give you that advice, because you don't want to misstep. And I don't see any missteps here, but there could be, as I said, this crossover bridging energy in February where there's a misunderstanding or a moment where you're like, oh, I didn't realize that. And you have to revise it, whatever it is, okay? Again, it doesn't feel negative because, it clears the air. You get clear on it. Okay, so that's coming out there as well. Now, if you're retired, this is a period of you really leaning into who you are and what it is you really want to do this year. Some of you, whether you're retired or not, actually, I feel there's new hobbies, new ventures bubbling up here, new ideas. And I definitely see here a lot of you could be thinking about saving plans in order to book a vacation. Or you may book a vacation during this period, even if it's on a credit card or something here. Something to look forward to is what I've got here. But a lot of you maintaining and sustaining in the month of January and just getting structured. When you think about fecundity rain is nourishing. we need rain in order to nourish projects like agricultural projects and, things like that. So if you think about it symbolically, a lot of you are kind of like back to work, back into some sort of system to keep growth going or keep the momentum going, as it were. I definitely see here that you are feisty, ambitious, and ready to conquer 2026, but this is a bit more of a slower pace. So it can be that you're ruminating. It can be that you are plot pointing, planting the seeds. If you run your own business, this could be that you've got new ideas for growth and expansion in your business, or you could be launching something a little bit later on in the year. This is the idea, or it could be like a new goods or service or something there where you're thinking about launching something new and it will bring you in more money. A lot of you, if you are working in a company for other people, it can be that you are thinking about expansion in different sectors or new money-making opportunities like promotions. These really won't start until April for you, is what I'm seeing for a lot of you, okay? But it doesn't mean you're not working towards it. There could be talk about some sort of promotion there or opportunities to branch out in some way, because the name of the game for you this year is growth, okay? Also, it's a lot of cleansing going on there after a period of excess. Let me see what else I got coming through there for you. We have the Hangman, easing your way in, doing a lot of thinking, ruminating. A lot of you could have some secret projects in the works there with that High Priestess, but this is about believing in yourself. And as I said, it feels like you've been easing your way in. Doesn't mean you're not busy. I feel like you're getting back into the rhythm. But with that Hangman, I feel new knowledge. A lot of you downloading courses. Some of you, these could be courses connected to self-help. They could be, mindfulness in the working environment, or knowing your mind, developing your spiritual awareness, connecting to your higher self, just knowing that things are going to be really great for you this year. And there's no need to rush, because what is meant for you will never pass you by. I feel also some of you could be sitting on a secret, or you may get some information that is really valuable to you in January that sets you up for the rest of the year there. But the surrender is like the energy of moving into a new year and recognizing that this is your year to turn things upside down with new knowledge. Hangman is always new information. It's about releasing restrictions and, not holding back. It's a time where, yes, you're getting back into the flow, but you're not forcing the energy. And of course, some of you, this is research and development, reviewing how far you've come with that High Priestess energy and looking at the missing ingredient in your life so that you can face your future and prioritize what is necessary. And it feels very much like this is a blank canvas. But also some of you are deep in thought about your direction, because we got a maze on that card. So it can be there's certain areas of your life where you feel are not fulfilled and you're being really honest with yourself. I feel like there is this kind of deep, cerebral, thoughtful energy of you in January, kind of like looking at all the things that you really want to aspire to. Just be a little bit mindful. This can get overwhelming. You're going to achieve it. I see a lot of going on here. I'm really excited for you, in fact. There's a lot of exploration. There's a lot of moments of pause in order to take the next leap. There's a lot of success points looking at your energy this year, and I just feel like don't overwhelm yourself. You're setting intentions January, and you're on a mission, and you're going to complete that mission to turn your life around in some way and build on what you have been building already. But there's lots of new growth there, lots of exciting things. Now also, some of you may decide to grow your own food or herbs during this period. Not all of you, of course, but this can be that you're eating in a different way. And I feel that this is about keeping an eye on your diet or activities in some way. A lot of you may be really focusing on your health, of course, and getting out into nature there. There's also something coming through about, like, even if it's raining, and this may not resonate with all of you. I mean, this, if I was a Virgo, this would not resonate with me. I'm just saying this, but if you've made a declaration to self to go out like on a fun run or on a run every day at a certain time and be really focused and diligent at doing it, you're the sort of person, you show up for yourself, bring your A game, you're doing it, okay? But if it was me and it was raining, I'd be like, Okay, maybe I'll wait till tomorrow. Okay, but I feel like you're even like, no matter the conditions, you're still focused on your personal development, your growth, and, you know, being active and doing what you got to do. Okay, rain is purifying. So I feel that's a great month to set yourself up, the blueprint of what it is you intend this year. You're driven, you're focused, you're more active in some way, and you're open to more opportunities. I would say that this month you're not really focused on love. You're more focused on yourself and your development, connecting to your hopes, dreams, and wishes, and being productive to optimize both your workflow, your intentions, like manifesting, for example, because thoughts become things, and the High Priestess is very cerebral, but it means that you're sticking to some sort of strategy in order to activate your short-term and your long-term aspirations, okay? Now, as we move into February, things are kicking off a little bit more. This could be a chaotic wild card kind of month for you. I got to be honest there, because this card can indicate that we got cleansing storms. So I would just be mindful of like extra pressure, or I feel actually you're trying to manage stress levels this year and make sure you take good quality rest and not let things build up in the way that perhaps they have in the past. I mean, boundaries are there for a reason, but if we allow things to build up, the only thing it is hurting is ourselves. So it can be that you're compartmentalizing in some way. But this is number 23. When you reduce it, 2 plus 3 is 5, which is the Hierophant energy. So this can be that, you know, you're doing what you got to do. There's some sort of routine in place by this point, but it can be that, you know, there's a need to shake things up a little bit in February. The Hierophant is an energy of like structure. Oh, it's always been this way. How is life going to change? It almost feels like in February, there's a period where you kind of like look back and go, you were so excited in January. And then February is like, oh, there's kind of the same old thing, just a different day. But it's going to be different. I can see that it's going to be different for you. So it could be that, you know, there's something here that perhaps you need to refocus on, return to. Could be a little bit of frustration. I hate to give that message, but I got to be honest with the card. Number 5 tends to be about conflict, but I feel this could be a misunderstanding or a clearing of the air. It feels positive in its outcome, okay? Storms always release pressure. You know, I kind of love a storm as long as it's not like, you know, overwhelming humans or, you know, activating such radical transformations on the earthly plane that is negative to people and where they live, of course. But there could be something globally perhaps there where there is a shock. I got to be honest, the collective are getting something for February and the planets are aligning that way. February right through to April, there is some challenging energy. So on a global scale, there could be something that shocks people because there's a lightning bolt there, or something that comes a little bit left field, or it's like just different somehow. But let's bring it back to your energy, because, you know, I feel that this is you being protected in some way regarding your hopes, dreams, wishes. You're being like elevated. There's a hand here lifting this figure up, and it can be that you're transforming something major in the month of February. And this could be connected in some way to an idea. Like suddenly you're brainstorming and you have a breakthrough. Lightning bolts are higher frequencies that transform everything. So I feel this could be like suddenly you get news that transforms your life and elevates you. Suddenly all this hard work, you know, you're getting a reward here. But this card, of course, being number 23 and being about storms there, it says sometimes you need to raise a lot of energy to blow away what you no longer need. So this is the final push as we leave the year of the snake behind for you and move into the fire horse year. So definitely old cycles are dead and done in February. There could be a minor temptation to fall back into a cycle repeat or an old way of doing something. Someone from your past could also try and come in during this period and really frustrate you. You feel like you've come so far without this person and you don't want to return, but there's a little bit of a temptation there. Also, if you've cut something out in January, there could be a little bit of friction there where you feel tempted to just have a quick fix in some way. Whether your quick fix is substance, or whether it is like me, like a chocolate biscuit, a packet of chocolate biscuits when I get under pressure. Because when we're under pressure, we tend to reach for the familiar quick fix. So there could be a minor temptation there. For some of you, it could be an ex that comes on in, because it is Valentine's in the month of February there. And it could pose a little bit of a difficulty there, because it sets you thinking nostalgically about all the trouble that you had with this person or how they were emotionally unavailable. But I feel like you're transformed, you're different. This figure is literally turning their back on something there. So I feel a lot of you, you know, you're not tempted. But it just could be that thought, like shock, like what are you doing back in my life? Or why am I reaching for this? But shocks, they don't have to be negative. I want you to be aware. Something from like a bolt from the blue can happen in the month of February there. I would say for some of you, there could be a misunderstanding around money. Keep your eyes peeled on your finances. Again, I feel whatever it is, it clears the air. So this could be like a surprise bill that comes in February. I don't like to give anyone that message. However, it could be cleared up. Like it could be that someone takes 2 payments by accident, or that you get charged for something and it was in error, or a bill goes up and actually it has to be recalibrated and you get compensated. You know, there's just something about that coming out there. So let me just pull a quick card on that card there for you. I mean, I definitely feel that January and February, it's all about cleansing for you, cleansing your body, expanding your mind, and being specific in your release. It feels like anything that's been draining you, hurting you, disappointing you, you're just freeing yourself up from that. And I feel there's a lot of independence in that energy. Yeah, look at that. You're having some sort of glow up. You feel free. That's the energy that was coming out, and that's why the Fool card has popped out there. I mean, some of you, there's a real kind of like spontaneous energy here. So you could do something wildly different in this month that surprises a lot of people. And you're just doing like a major declutter in your life. I would say this is a month where personally a lot of you may do some DIY. You may actually, restructure your home in some way, or there could be some building works. I mean, in terms of like your career, for some of you, this could be suddenly there is a new opportunity coming in that sees you promoted. As I said, I don't feel it gets fully realized until April there, but this could be something that you launch yourself into, a hunt for like a new promotion or a new job that brings in more money. Also, the Fool card can indicate that there is something new coming in your working environment that elevates you or makes you feel really good about yourself. Also, whatever it is that you are starting, you complete, and you're on to new things. I feel like you'll start a lot of new things in February. This could be new groups. So even if you're deciding to study, you may book it in January, but it doesn't start till February there. Whether it's a hobby or whether it's something you want to activate, may not start really. I'm getting a couple of start date points, which is February, April, May for a lot of you, and then it could be something in around the month of October, and then December again. So I just feel that you're keeping things active. And I just got this energy here, and that's really interesting. It's like destination is constant elevation. I'm loving that. That is an incredible sentence. I feel that's like your motto for this year. So whatever you're cutting out as well in January, you're just going to see it on your body and in your mind. You're just going to feel like you have more energy. There's a playful side that comes out. I feel a lot of you are going to be more sociable during February as well. But very productive month for you. Don't rush into anything. A lot of you, leaps of faith happening there. The Fool card indicates a lot of potential to transform, and basically it feels like it's a bit of a start. It's almost like it's the start of your year, as it were. I know there's different starts to people's years. A lot of people say January is the start. Astrologically, of course, as we move into Aries season later on in the year, that of course is the start astrologically of a new year. But I feel personally things start for you in February, okay? A lot of you could also attract a new person into your life, whether that's a friend or a romantic partner. I feel like you're going to get a lot of attention in the month of February there. And this could be like love at first sight, like a bolt from the blue. Expect the unexpected in February. Keep your eyes on your financial statements. You know, always save down statements financially, just to make sure that you have a tally of what you've got in your accounts, just in case there's any glitches this year as people move over to new systems there. But I feel if there's any shock financially coming through, I feel like you own it and you get compensated in some way, or you kind of like stand up and say, hey, this is not right. You call it out, and then it gets replenished. In terms of like retirement, if you're a retiree, I feel this is you kind of like getting yourself out there, joining new groups, being seen, and really kind of like giving back to your body. There's a real excitement about you in February. So this could be that you suddenly launch yourself into something you've been meaning to do for a long time. Also, there could be some family news going on, like a birth there. That's what's coming through in February as well. For some of you, this birth is, a little bit early, but I don't see anything negative there. I just feel like baby's eager to meet everybody, so that's coming there as well, okay? Now also, because this is a big surprise month, I mean, if a lot of you Virgos are single and looking for love, and if you have the potential to get pregnant but don't want to get pregnant, I would say take precautions. This is a month where suddenly baby could be on board because, of course, Empress energy is pregnancy and the Fool card is baby. And, of course, we have like a sudden surprise energy right there. So just be a little bit mindful. As I said, February is a bit of a wild card month for you, and it feels like expect the unexpected. A lot of you are also maybe delegating your finances into compounding wealth. So finding new ways to activate accounts to bring in more money there, as I said. You're so creative, so talented, so gifted. So some of you may have been sitting on a talent, whether you're retired or not. You know, a lot of people say, well, when I'm retired, that's it. But of course, that's your time to give back to yourself. But a lot of retirees, you know, there could be a project or something that you are so gifted at that you decide to start up again. Because I see a lot of you starting up something again. And actually, this could be a money-making idea. A lot of you, it could also be that you're going to be a consultant. You may dip in and out. Some of you are actually deciding to retire this month as well, or maybe some of you are deciding to retire this year and you really get into a rhythm of doing that. If you're retired already though, I feel like you're curious about adventure, about travel, about maybe even, you know, investigating your neighborhood in a different way and meeting new people and just getting involved, more integrated. But no matter who you are, I definitely see here that, you know, you're nourishing yourself in a different way. I feel like you have boundless energy in this month as well. And I also feel there's a lot of love around you, a lot of family energy as well. So some of you may connect to people that you haven't seen in a while, friendships and maybe family members in this month as well. And if you are a business owner, I'd say this is a big launch month for you. You could be getting something out there in the marketplace or, you know, launching a new skill, or a lot of you are studying to expand your reach in different areas. I definitely see here that this is a great time to do something new that perhaps you've had in motion or ready to launch there. Promoting yourself. Some of you are getting up like websites, business cards, or just revamping your brand or revamping something in some way. And I feel it really kicks off in the month of February there for you, okay? I feel there's just a lot of playful energy there as well, lots of impromptu invitations, events, and there could be a double booking. So just be mindful of that. Double booking energy is coming out there. What else am I getting? I just feel like you're promising yourself not to get stagnant, not to get stuck. You know, February comes along and you're like, oh, I'm getting back into that rhythm again, the repetitive routine, you know, that I promised myself I wouldn't. And then it just feels like, no, let's get busy. Let's just transform. Lightning is exciting. And, you know, I feel a lot of you, in terms of spiritual elevation there, you could have a breakthrough if you're meditating to reach higher frequencies there. But this can be that, you know, you're gathering a lot of strength to do something different. Some of you may be even thinking about moving to a different country or overseas, migrating your skill set or your business, or even just, you know, retiring overseas or thinking about life overseas, maybe even spending time between two places. I just see a lot of this movement going on, and maybe these are just thoughts right now that are bubbling up within you. But some sort of action or some sort of serious action makes you sit up and be aware of your plans and say, okay, I'm going to do it. It's happening. I'm going to make it happen. So I feel March, whatever it is you decide to do in February, I feel this is the moment where everything starts really being in motion here, the structure. This is magnetism. You have a lot of power in the month of March there. It says attraction, magnetism. This is about you attracting opportunities. It's about you kind of calling in whatever it is you desire. Also, I feel that in and around this period, like the crossover period, February into March, is a great time to fall in love, okay, or meet someone new. And if you have a partner, you're in a high level commitment, I would say, now I've got to be honest with you here, there may be some sort of like challenging conversation in the month of February there, but it gets resolved and you reinforce why you fell in love with each other. But it could be a big conversation about where you feel like you belong. This is a big year about planting roots for a lot of you. So this could be that you and your partner are like, okay, are we happy where we're at? If not, what are we going to do about it? Are we going to move to a new neighborhood, a new country? Are we going to, you know, plot twist on career goals or family or whatever it is. I just feel like there's a big conversation where you come together in like a compromise that feels like both of you are on the same page, almost like it's not a compromise, almost like both of you realize secret hopes and fears and, you know, dreams, and you both are aligning for the same thing, but there could be a miscommunication there on how it gets articulated at first. But everything seems to be resolved there as we move into March. Now this card, of course, is a very exciting card. It's number 37, which when you reduce it is 10. That's Wheel of Fortune energy, which means a lot of success, a lot of good news, a lot of, you know, surprising energy where your thoughts become things. This is about you aligning with prosperity and having those opportunities being met here for you. And, you know, I feel this state of attraction around you, no matter what it is you're trying to attract. Better health, being able to manage symptoms if you've had health symptoms there, attracting the right consultant or practitioner to help you. Coming back to that, I feel some of you may actually get a surprise letter or documentation in the month of February. So this could be a cancellation if you've been waiting for some sort of surgery or some sort of necessary procedure. If you've been waiting for a long time, it's been a slow process, you may get a sudden cancellation and suddenly get a letter in February. So check your hard copy mail. You don't want to miss it. And it's first come, first served is what I'm seeing. Random, I know, but you could be offered something and suddenly you have to reschedule life a little bit. Something in your schedule changes in February in order to factor something else in. But it's positive, whatever it is. But coming back to this card, we're in March now. This is a card, of course, of owning your power, gravitas. This is you, you know, with this sovereignty, as it were, knowing your worth, knowing what you want in your life. And a lot of you may have had an opportunity to erect a vision board or an intention board. I like to call it an intention board because they are things that I intend to make happen. Not just a vision, but you intend to make it happen there. And I feel like you are, and things are starting to kind of come together. This is about you knowing your value. It's about you knowing your needs and being aware of what you are truly attracting into your life and what you really do not want to run with this year. You're not someone who runs with the herd. You're someone who's very independent. I feel a lot of you will go off and do your own thing independently. Some of you may even structure a new business and become your own boss in the year of 2026. And there's a lot of excitement and success around that. So I see a lot of independent energy going on there. It feels like you may suddenly decide to do that in February, a lot of you, but then now it's structured and it's up and running. But this card also indicates that, of course, whatever it is you endeavor to attract, there's always a natural law of attraction. So thoughts become things, but you must take that first step there. And I feel like you're calling something in. But this figure is literally looking at Saturn. Okay, Saturn is about structure. So I would say this is a big month to manage. This is a big month where, you know, you will maintain and sustain, but you're strategizing, structuring, and taking more calculated risks is what I see there as well, or calculating something. This would be a big month where you're calculating. So I would say that some of you may be trying to purchase a home this year, or you may be trying to, you know, upgrade a car or some sort of larger kind of purchase. And it could be that you're calculating something or getting something really in order to make sure that you make it happen, whatever that is. Very productive in this month. You're utilizing your time and your resources efficiently. I feel like there's a development energy here. I feel like this is a big time for you also with sleep. Can see that figure is of course on the bed there, but I feel like you get better sleeping opportunities. But be mindful in March when you're falling asleep, that period between waking and sleeping, you know, I feel a lot of you are paying attention to what you're absorbing, what you're listening to or watching just before bed. A lot of you are promising yourself to get up earlier or have some sort of structure, and also honor bedtime as a routine. Random that's coming through, but I just see a lot of you trying to do that. That sleeping period, you know, that in-between period between like waking, getting into bed, you know, sometimes we review everything that has happened in the day. And sometimes we think about things that happened like 5 years ago. Like, why did they say that? Or, yeah, I got to get that tomorrow on my shopping list. And there's all these things that go racing through your mind just before bed. Month of March is a very kind of decluttering and kind of like conquering intrusive thoughts energy, where I feel like you're kind of reshaping how you approach bedtime. And just before you sleep, more than anything, I see a lot of you manifesting what you desire to happen in your life. See it like a movie in your mind of something happening, because it's going to happen. You're going to make it happen. And this is one of the strongest months for your visions to really connect to a vibration in the universe that draws it in. It draws it closer and closer. So if you want more money, imagine yourself going to your bank account and seeing a huge amount of money in your bank and withdrawing or depositing or whatever it is. See yourself doing it. See the sort of lifestyle it affords you. Also, if you're trying to attract love, I feel by then you will have met some people that will be a factor. There's one person who will capture your heart, that's for sure. I feel like you're going to do a lot of traveling with this person there, and there's a lot of intimacy with this new person. Very exciting energy. But more than anything, what I see here is you kind of really attracting the sort of relationship you want, manifesting and imagining the things that you will both dedicate yourselves to. So I see a lot of success and a lot of like really setting intentions. Yeah, you're reaching for something. This is a month to see the vision, as I said there. That's a sun card, which is illumination. Big spotlight month. I would say a lot of success in this month, lots of good news in this month. But ultimately, it is shining a light on what you are reaching for and having success in making it happen, okay? I even said it before this card came out there. I feel like you're radiant, you're having a glow up. So whatever it is that you are focused on, body, mind, and soul, being more active, I feel like you just feel better about yourself as well. The sun is an energy, of course, of elevation, of, you know, trusting the process. It's an energy of growth. And this figure is literally reaching for something. And there's an eye there, of course. And I know it is a very controversial eye in this card. But I feel more than anything, it's like the universe is paying attention to your needs, right? Can see what you're reaching for and says, let me help you with that. So I feel like you're going to have more energy in this month. I feel that a lot of you may even book something. It feels like a cusp, a bridging energy. So there may be some sort of travel that moves more into April there, where, you know, you go to sunnier climates for some of you. But I would say this is a big month. Illumination is lots of ideas, or seeing the vision come to light, or see the plans start to really take shape in this month. Now, dreams come true. Okay, so I feel this is a big month for something to come on in there for you. And I feel also it's a very happy time as well. I feel a lot of you limiting light sources before bed, very important. So this could be blue light on your screens. I would also say this is a big month to pay attention to your eyes. Some of you, this could be like an appointment for like eye prescription, or looking at eye pressure, or maybe you're just having a checkup. Maybe your working environment may just offer you like a free eye test. I don't see anything negative there. This is a really positive month, but maybe it's something that comes up there if some of you are keeping close watch on your eye health. I mean, I feel also routines before bed and light sources, things like that. Have you ever felt really tired, then thought, oof, I'm really tired, I'll take myself off to bed. Then you go to bed and then either doom scroll just before bed. When you get into bed, the light from the cell phone may actually just reactivate you and be like, oh, now I can't sleep. So, you know, I'm just feeling something like that there. But I feel this is a very structured month where you're very productive and getting things done. As we move into the month of April, expansion. This is when it happens, okay? New money-making opportunities really lock down here. So if you are getting some sort of indication of promotion vibes in February there, because that Empress energy came out, or if you're launching a new business, I feel this is about you expanding your reach. This is about your direction. This is when the promotion comes in, you sign the contract, or you really lock into an opportunity at the beginning of the year. It's like you get it. There could be some sort of, if you're searching for a job right now, it can be that there's a probation period and then suddenly you are expanding because you're locking it down as a permanent position there. I feel this is about you kind of looking out to the rest of the year. It feels very much like a review period in April. You know, sometimes we come as far as we can and then we start to really think, okay, I've done this, I intend to do this. You become aware and you are focused really on your like 5-year plan in this month. You know, it's number 1 vibration. So even though we are in the year of a number 1 vibration, I feel everything really kicks off for you in such a monumental way round about this period of the year. March and April are very lucky for you. And also, you know, you've worked really hard to get to this position. So you're going to be really proud of yourself in this month. It says expansion north. North is where you feel guided to be. But also I feel this is about you being honest with yourself, looking at all the obstacles that you've overcome and really being proud of yourself. And, you know, there's also an energy here of trusting your intuition. You know, okay? So your gut instinct is the first instinct. You're being brave about something, taking the next steps on something. This is you maybe even looking into new neighborhoods if you're thinking about leaving your current one. It could be an opportunity that comes in, like a new home, or this is the point where a lot of you may travel to a certain country. If you're thinking about moving to that country, you may spend some time there just to like research, because this can be a card of research and development. I just feel like you have a notion to expand here and go on an adventure. A lot of you will travel in this month here, but I feel this is about you leaning and locking into your sense of purpose and expanding your reach. A lot of you by this point as well will be in the flow of a little bit more money, where you feel a little bit more stable. And this is a month for adventure as well. I would say a lot of you will try a lot of new things in this month, or discover new things that you really want to do. This is kind of an explorative month where you trial things. So on a really practical level, you may trial like a new service provider, or you may decide to trial some sort of tool or resource that can help you. Always make sure that if you're trialing something and it has a certain trial period date, if you don't want it, cut it out, cancel it straight away. As soon as you have that thought to cancel it because you don't want it anymore, you're going to be really busy in this month, okay? So I would just say, just be mindful, because it may slip your mind to cancel it, and then you may actually have to pay for it if it's something that you have to pay for, and you'll have to kind of double down on that as well. What I mean by that, there may be a cancellation period fee, but also it will like roll over for 1 month. That's just the way they're going to do it. So just be mindful, cancel any trials that you don't want to keep in this month. But this is about you locking into your vision really like fully. I would say this is when you start, or you kind of get some sort of legal document that says you're starting something, or that you are branching out in some way. Your intention in January is starting to really kick off in April there, okay? Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Great Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Virgo? What else do they need to know about the month of April there? Is this Wheel of Fortune? Yes, it is. We got changing cycles. So this could be where you plot twist, you surprise yourself. A lot of you may investigate a new direction to where you want to go. Doesn't mean that you're not going to reach your destination. It means you may be opening yourself up to an alternative path to get there, okay? So I would say a lot of plot twists going on. Good news, great news, in fact, going on. Even better news than the month before happening in the month of April there. Wheel of Fortune is surprises. So I would say there could be some surprise travel there in the month of April there for you as well. We've got maps, but this is you checking in on your blueprint of what you intend to do to expand your reach there. You're going places, and I definitely see here the only way is up. I feel a lot of you have been going through so many things. Last year was very challenging, and you've been doing a lot of shedding as well as learning and adapting. And this year it feels like you're taking a first step towards something. And April is really that moment where you feel that fear and just do it anyway. And it's going to be very exciting indeed. Now, on a personal level, I feel like you may push yourself a little bit more in this month, whether it's to face a fear or maybe a phobia in this month. For some of you, this could be that you're doing a lot of like running around or doing a road trip or doing something that sees you on the move. I would say also this is you keeping a tight rein on your finances in this month, because the Wheel of Fortune acknowledges that money is easy come, easy go. So that's why I feel there's some sort of large purchase in and around this period. So that means that you have intention with this money. When it comes to let me put it this way. If you're in rented accommodation there, I feel some of you may actually change accommodation in this month. Okay, so this could be that like a landlord says, hey, we're going to sell the property. You have to leave. They'll give you, the right amount of time to kind of find somewhere else. But you may initially feel it's frustrating. But actually, the universe wants you to be somewhere else that is more beneficial to you. You're going to find a better property for money that I feel that it's just a little bit less than what you're paying already, which is going to be random in this economic climate, but you're going to find that your luck increases where you move to. There's just something about ley lines coming through here for you right now. So I just feel that if you're moving or having a change of direction or wherever you're pulled to in the month of April, there's something about ley lines being luckier for you. So if you are like leaving a property, I definitely see that where you're going to is lucky. And if you are actually deciding, because not every Virgo is going to be upping and leaving in the month of April there, or maybe not even your intention this year, but even if you decide to plot twist and decide to move to a new neighborhood, wherever you go, there are lucky ley lines where it transforms through magnetic kind of crossovers there to help you manifest. Just so random, okay? Now also, big expanding your mind month here. So I would say a lot of you, if you're learning a language or you're learning an instrument or you're learning more to expand your reach and reach higher financial opportunities, smash through glass ceilings financially, I definitely see here that, the opportunity is going to be there for you to do that. Okay, so if you're setting up new businesses or you're having second streams of income or side hustles, I feel like you're expanding your financial status there as well, okay? And you're gonna be really proud of yourself. And also, I know it's so random, but if you're retired, a lot of you may even find yourself going on some sort of like cruise through the fjords or somewhere like that, or through some sort of environment where you actually see things like that, because I'm seeing it in the water right now. Not exactly the same as this. I mean, this is the Northern Lights, so I'm guessing it's somewhere like Norway or, somewhere where you would perhaps see that kind of setting, but it's different what I see in the water. So there may be some sort of cruise that you're deciding to go on. That's, again, not going to be all of you, of course, but I feel this is, personally, for every Virgo, this is about your inner compass, where you feel drawn to be. And there's something going on here because we've got beginnings. So this is the exploration period. As I said, research and development, looking into something, deeper dive there on something. A lot of you, this could also be about you, about, your emotions, learning more about yourself, what you're capable of, who you really are, giving back to yourself. I mean, one of the most important things on this earthly plane for all of us is to know thyself. And it's an ongoing process. We're all the student of life. There's something different here as we move into the month of May. This is you seeing yourself differently, having a different mindset. This is a portal of opportunity opening up for you as you elevate. The steps are there for a reason, and it says beginnings here. The fact that we've got north and east close together, a lot of you, there is something going on either about where you feel like you belong or where you frequent. A lot of you, I mean, if you're deciding to stay in your neighborhood, this could be that you discover new things in your neighborhood. Beginnings, you're curious about what else is out there. New restaurants, new groups of people, new activities, new artistic events, like going to local quizzes or, whatever it is, getting more involved in the community. But there's something new about this. Some of you may even decide to hold something new or bring like, I would say bring people to your home, host something in this period if it's not something that you normally typically do. So random that it's coming through, but it is, so I have to honor it. But it says beginnings east. The universe is asking you to open yourself up to whatever this is. But I also feel a lot of you, this is connected to something in this period. The January into February, the Empress card came out for a reason. And this is number 3, the Empress energy in this card. So it feels something that you have in motion. There's something new about it, or something that you launch or start to focus on, or even return to. If you haven't completed something, it really opens up new opportunities, new doors, new partnerships, new experiences, new people, great networking opportunity month if you're in business. This could be like, a lot of you could be launching like a partnership with a social media company or a social media platform. For some of you, because I get this expansion, it's like, how do I expand on what I'm doing already? So if you're someone who works in a certain industry, and I'm just going to pull it out of the hat, what industry, it could be that you're in the financial industry or the catering, the architecture, maybe you're in the travel industry, maybe you're an artist, maybe you're a performer. There could be something that you do that co-aligns and complements what you do, and you set it up and you get it in motion. For example, if you're an actor, you could be talking about the industry that you're in, how hard it is, and the experiences that you've had, because I'm getting the word experience in the water. So you could actually write a book on your experiences, or you could do a podcast, or you could do some sort of social media thing that complements. For some of you, if you're retired, it could be that you write about your experience and it just opens up a new portal of money for you, or a new circle of people that you get involved in. And it's something that you did because you utilized your time effectively, both in terms of you enjoying yourself, but also writing about like your legacy. So it could be something new that you decide to do that co-aligns or complements something that you do this year. And it just sets you up with stability, because that seed is planting roots somewhere in your life and it's playing out in the rest of the year. So I would say this is an exciting month. This is the leap of faith energy again coming back. This is so much potential there. And I mean, this card, it is number 3, and it literally means do not worry. A new dawn is breaking for you. Let go of the old. Embrace the new that is coming in. Flow forward without the heaviness or the anxiety. Okay, so, I mean, in terms of world events, if there's something critical going on at the beginning part of the year, there could be like a glimmer of hope as we move to May. Okay, I really hope that's the truth. I actually hope there's nothing negative here. I hope positivity and peace will reign for humanity, but unfortunately, there are certain structures in place to keep the collective in fear for certain reasons that we won't go to in this reading, but I feel that this is about you being a light worker and transcending that, doing your bit. A lot of you may actually do some charitable work during this time, or get more involved in the neighborhood in a different way and shine your light. This is a great month to be seen as well. A lot of success. I would say some of you, because there is this energy of going global. If you're someone who's in the public eye, because I'm not sure who watches these readings, but if you're someone who wants to be in the public eye, or you are in the public eye, or you just want to influence your circumstances in the community in some way, I would say that this period here between April and May is when you get asked to do something that will raise your profile, or will actually have you come to the attention of others who can elevate you or open doors for you. This is just a big month of opening doors, and there's a lot of sparkle and magic around this period, a lot of excitement, like a lot of hubbub. So I would say meeting new people, networking, opportunities. If you've moved by this point, for a lot of you, I just feel like you're exploring the neighborhood in a new way. There's a fresh new sparkle about it. I'm just going to clarify. Hangman, surrender. These opportunities are there for you, and it can be something, as I said, in this period, because the Hangman is coming out again, it feels like it's somehow connected. You're finding your way. You're not feeling lost at this point. You've turned your life around in some way, and you're looking at the sacrifices that you've been making because you're gaining something new in this month. Okay, a lot of you are just seeing things from a different perspective as well. Like, oh my gosh, I did that one thing different, and now everything has changed for the better. Whether it's you cutting something out. Yeah. Major management energy. I mean, when you think about the hierarchy in Tarot, especially in the major arcanas, what I'm using here, of course, we got the Empress energy, which is about being open to more. It's about leading with love. It's about, falling back in love with your life again, nourishing yourself in a different way. And then we got the Emperor, which is all about leadership. It's like taking charge. In terms of promotion opportunities, this is the big deal moment. Right? Also, I would say, in terms of world events, if there's some sort of like shocking energy going on here, we've got the Hangman and the Emperor. The Emperor can be like governments or some sort of legal structure there, or governmental structure, where something gets paused, something ceases temporarily, or is like in limbo. Okay, so maybe something to look at that point too, if there is some conflict there. Also in terms of like global structures there, we could see like a large volcano going off in the month of February. I just want to put it out there. So just be mindful if you are traveling, but I see a lot of you are traveling later on. Also something big earth-wise happening there in the month of July, but we'll come to that in a moment. Back to your energy. Leadership is about you being in control, in command of this wonderful new start, okay? And also, I feel like you are being strict with yourself, because there is something new here. The Emperor is always like strict with finances or structure, owning your time, a lot of success. Also, I'd say a lot of responsibility in this month. So for some of you, just as something new is kicking off for you, there could be some more responsibility coming on in, whether it's in your work or it could be family members asking you to take a little bit of time out to help them with something, or friends in some way. I feel like you find the balance between that, so you won't feel overwhelmed in this month. Also, I feel there could be just one, because it's not always going to be positive, right? There's always a bit of a blip, a bit of a like fly in the ointment sometimes in the energy. I would say, if anything, you may experience like a minor delay in the month of May there. Also, I would say, look at legal documents. There could be a delay in something. For some of you, if you're trying to apply for something, or you're trying to renew something in the month of May there, get it in early, because I do see a delay with it, especially if it's Visa, passport, or credit card that is coming to the end of its cycle or term there. You want to get it in early, because I do see a minor delay there, and you'll have to just surrender to the process. But sometimes, you know, certain structures, they're very frustrating. There's a lot of red tape around that, and I just feel like there's a backlog, and it's not going to be fast forwarded. So you may have to speak to a manager or someone who's in a position of authority to actually help hustle it along. So that's coming through there as well. But you'll be put from pillar to post. So don't give up on it. Keep calling, because there could be like a moment where you get transferred to a different department and then another different department, and you're like, oh my gosh, it's so frustrating, I'll just leave it. But actually, if you pursue it, you'll get it done. You know, also, I feel this is about protecting everything you've been working really hard for. Get legal structures in place. You know, always get advice on anything new that you're looking into, because you want to get the best advice. So I would say a lot of new things happening here. Also, you know, on a more practical level, you could start up new contracts with service providers there as well. Find better deals. And I would also say that you may even trial new recipes and things like that on a practical level in this month. It feels very explorative in these 2 months, and like, you know, trialing new things that are really exciting. But I would also say some new money coming on in the month of May there. Okay, so this could be something that you win for some of you. It could also be, I'm not saying everyone goes out and plays lottery or anything like that, but it could be something you win, or it could be a competition you enter. I just feel there's some celebratory news, new money coming in there as well. It could be a tax rebate, for example. If you're getting your taxes and everything done, just be a little bit mindful whenever this is happening for you. There may be some sort of deadline there. You will make that deadline, but I feel you don't get compensated or anything like that until later on. And I feel this is a great month for that to happen. Now, as we move into the month of June there, we have groundedness, gravity. So this is about you being attached to many different projects, but also embodying, you know, all those animalistic instincts. You know, if you have a totem animal, for example, this could be that you're embodying the animal traits there. Wolves or pathfinders, giraffes, they think about long-term, gracefully move towards goals, seeing obstacles to bypass them, overcome them. The bear is all about endurance. The monkey is all about having fun and being like super clever and learning new knowledge and, you know, learning as you go and being very adaptable there. So I feel like, you know, there's an energy here of you being on top of your goals and dreams and really like content with your world. This figure is kind of like bent over there a little bit, but there's an element between feeling exhausted but also resting. So I would say this is a month where you're attached to a lot of things. Things are going on. You're maintaining, sustaining, and it also feels like there is some transformation going on, or maybe there's something in the works at this point here, but it is number 39. When you reduce it, of course, that's 12. So that is the hangman energy. So there could be some things that are delayed or suspended during this period, or some of your plans may kind of like just be happening. I don't want to say they're suspended, because I don't feel that. I feel like they're more in motion. I mean, this card comes with a word, okay? If you have this deck at home, you'd know that this word is serious, okay? The word is actually seriousness. There's a grounded kind of gravitational energy to it, but gravity means the gravity of a situation, the seriousness of the situation. And there is a world there as well. So where there is a temporary pause on something in the month of May, I mean, I don't want it to be this way, and I am holding it in a big ball of positivity that it does not happen this way. But there could be some event that, you know, kind of like, if you look at these little ties there, it's like a web, right? So it could be that it ties lots of different countries into it in some way, or it involves a lot of like strings attached. So there could be something positive that comes in, but there's strings attached. Like, we'll only activate this if I force you to do this. It just feels like there's a lot going on in this month globally. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it like that. But I feel, bringing it back to your energy, I feel this is about you being serious about your goals, or you have a lot of gravity in a situation. I feel there is this magnetism. You're attached to a lot of things. You're very busy in this month, but there could be some serious news going on for you. It doesn't feel negative. It feels serious. It feels like you take it seriously, or you prioritize it. Also, I feel serious documents, legal structures, or legal letters. You know, if you're connected to anything like a court case at this time, there could be some big news for you in this month. Or if you have structured a business, it could be big news with your accountant, or it could be something seriously that you need to look at. A lot demands your time in the month of June. I got to give it to you like that. Yeah, self-reflection. So it's a bit of a pause, perhaps even to take stock of how far you've come. But this is an energy of finding the balance. As I said, it's like the balance of feeling exhausted with all the things that you are doing, because the moon is a drain card. The moon cannot shine all by itself. It requires the sun, a lot of energy. So it can be that you're feeling a little bit drained in this month, and looking at all the things that you have to do, all the responsibilities. You know, if this was a business this month, this card, it would be like, this is admin month. Nobody wants to be doing that, okay? But it's something you got to do. It's something that requires your attention. And, you know, it's not as actively exciting as all the other months. There's always got to be one month, I'm sure, where everyone has like a counterbalance energy. You've got something going on in motion, and you're just attached to a lot of things. If you're a parent, this could be a period where your children are doing a lot of things, a lot of activities, and you're tied to having to either chaperone them there, or bring them there, or, you know, factor in other people's plans. It just feels like you're factoring in other people's things going on in this month, as well as prioritizing your own. And, you know, on the moon card, there's always a dog and a wolf. The dog is about comfort. It is about, you know, being dedicated and loyal to your plans. And it's also about rest and finding moments of pause. And the wolf goes out there and is very independent, explorative, and sources new things. So it can be that just make sure you don't overwhelm yourself in this month with trying to do so many extra new things, because I feel like you've got a lot going on already in this month. I feel this is a big month for you also having fun, going out there to events, gigs, artistic endeavors, theater, cinema. You know, I just feel there's a lot of activity happening. A lot more is going on in your diary in this month, and it can require a lot of energy from you there. Also, it is a card of self-reflection, so you're very cerebrally doing a deeper dive about your life in this month, and all the people and situations that you're attached to at this moment in time, and just checking in with yourself to make sure that they raise you up and don't drain you. So I feel it's a big moment in your year to kind of like reflect. And the moon also indicates, especially when you have this card, which means you're attached to a lot of things vibrationally. You know, you may feel like not much is happening, even though everything's happening. When it comes to your goals and dreams, you may feel like, you know, things are just being maintained and sustained. And there could be a potential for a little bit of anxiety, because you're like, there's been a bit of a delay or a minor delay going on in the previous month. I would say the moon is telling you that just because you can't see it happening doesn't mean it's not happening. The universe is calling in different vibrations, attaching you to different ventures for your future, and it will be revealed when the moment is right. Okay, so I just got to give it to you like that. Also, I feel this is a moment to give back to yourself, to really romance your life, you know, to do things with purpose. You know, sometimes we can like, and I'm just going to give it to you this way so you can factor what I mean by it in your life. Sometimes we can be like, okay, I need to eat, so let's quickly get something together, do a recipe, do it, blah, blah, get it all done, eat, and be on to the next. But we can also cook with purpose. We can be like, okay, I'm actually going to enjoy chopping the tomatoes. I'm going to, you know, really invest my energy, put some music on. I'm just gonna, you know, I'm gonna do it in a different way where it feels like it's a process that elevates my mood. It's me nourishing my body. My body is a temple. You know, being deliberate with certain things that you do in your life. If you have, for example, you know, a little secret passion where you like to go to your favorite coffee store and observe people watch, right? This can be that you're finding moments to decompress in the month of June and give a little bit back to yourself. And you're still doing, the act of doing is still there, but somehow you're attached to it in a different way, if that makes sense, okay? The next month, I gotta give it to you straight, there's a lot going on that is highly pressurized, okay? Because we have transformation, pressure. Okay, so July, I feel this can be that you've got a lot that you need to action. I would say manage stress levels in this month there. Could also be some minor conflicts with people as emotions run high in this month. That's what I'm seeing there. And this could also align with planets. Sometimes, you know, Mars is doing certain things and it can influence pressure. You know, this card, I actually kind of love this card because it means you can view pressure as either being negative or a shaper of worlds. You know, if you're comfortable in life, we just lean into comfort. We don't do anything. We lean into it. You know, we have a structure or a system. We go, okay, everything's working. Let's maintain and sustain. But sometimes when we get to that point where we're like, okay, I want something more. I want something different. I want to expand. And remember, this is the fire horse year. So that means you're going to plot twist a lot and try and expand in so many different areas. So this card is you feeling like, okay, maintaining, sustaining, not much was going on, but you were still doing in this month. I feel it's a very productive month there for you. But this is where you just kickstart yourself back into action going, okay, you know what? I don't want to just, you know, deal with that. I want something more. I want to reach for something exciting. I want that spark to return. So I feel there is a positive influence with this card because this is a director of your energy to find that happy medium where you can benefit from pressure, like putting extra pressure on yourself to go that extra mile or to apply for that thing that you've been meaning to, or, you know, come out of your comfort zone in some way. And I feel like this is a month where you get an advantage. You get ahead in some way. As you can see, it's like a different vibration where you get ahead in this month. I would also say pressure, this could be a month globally where there's some sort of, you know, seismic activity or volcanic activity going on there as well, is what I'm seeing. Transformation is an energy of like you changing or restructuring. So I would say you could do something different to yourself, as in like change a look. That's what I'm seeing there. You may be fed up of a look at that point because I'm getting strong vibes of like the first house. You know, I'm not sure why, but I'm just getting that. Interesting. We've got the High Priestess, we've got cause and effect. Yeah, so it is. It's like you kickstarting something. If you do it, there's going to be a ripple effect in the rest of your year. And it stems from July. I mean, you're even getting the Death card, transformation. So you could be launching something new or transforming something about yourself there. A lot of you, this is another major breakthrough when it comes to information, how you process it as well. Intuition, of course, a lot of you, meditation or finding moments of pause. It feels like this pause in this month, or this like moment to think, because that's what the High Priestess is, to really like value your alone time to quieten the noise. There's a lot of enlightenment there. It feels like a bridging energy here, and you've been reviewing or in between worlds, and cause and effect. It's like, if I don't do this now, then there'll be no change. So I feel that's what's happening in the middle of your month in July there. It's not negative. I just feel like some of you could, you know, download a course of learning or extra one, or, you know, you learn something new there, because this is the Justice card. And it basically indicates that you get justice for all the effort that you've been making, but you do something transformative in the month of July that changes everything. And, you know, it's very exciting there. I feel also big deadlines this month. You know, I would say this is expiry dates. This is you having to like be on top of any time-sensitive documents or time-sensitive experiences. I feel like you're under pressure in terms of getting places as well. Always leave earlier if you are going to an event, because there could be, you know, like traffic, buildup of traffic and things like that. And you just don't want to be impacted like that, because I feel this is about managing stress levels this month. Also, I feel there could be some like really frustrating legal documentation or something that maybe it's new forms to fill in, or something in your working environment that is very frustrating, or maybe a conversation with your boss or someone, a neighbor or a landlord or landlady or somebody who like you lead with truth, but it feels like it changes the relationship. I just feel someone could frustrate you in this month. It's something to be aware of. And I actually feel it changes the relationship going forward. It's not going back. It feels slightly fractured. Got to be honest with you there. I feel like you're going to be diplomatic. You're going to be speaking your truth and you're honoring your boundaries there. But I feel a big conversation or something where there is monumental change in a dynamic. Again, it could be with a partner, or it could be with someone in your immediate circumstances, family member, sibling. There's a cause. There is a repercussion for things set in this month. Also, I would say something big is ending in the month of July there, and it could put you under pressure. So that can be a contract. It can be a service. It could be maybe you have a certain, let's bring it to like a real life kind of circumstance. It could be like a product that you enjoy using, a beauty product, and suddenly it gets discontinued and you're really like frustrated. You know, it could also be something that is instrumental to you running your business. So it could be something like insurance policies, or something to do with your 401k, or something to do with your bank in some way. There's just this energy here of something suddenly changing. The way it used to be, it's not going to happen anymore. And you have to deal with that. You have to manage the fallout of that. And it can be really frustrating. So I would say big month for deadlines as well. Structure is going to work really well for you. Just do what you feel is right for you. You're going to manage it. There's a cause and effect though. If you ignore it, you know, or for some of you, it can also be that there's something that if you keep it to yourself, because the High Priestess has come out, which can be that maybe it's a secret project, or perhaps it's a secret that you have, or maybe you discover a secret from somebody. I would say that something gets revealed or something comes to light, or maybe you should share something to highlight the amount of pressure you're under. Share the load, as it were. So I would say big conversation month where you really get real with people and say, look, this is what I'm managing or holding all together right now. Do you see the value in everything I'm doing right now? And there is a transformation in how they see you and more appreciation around you. But it just feels like it should have come before you had to explain it. But, you know, I just feel there's something going on there which could make you feel a bit scattered. Okay, so just be mindful. Pressure, as I said, there's something positive about this month because it feels like you transform something and it's not going back to how it was before. It doesn't control you, you control it. So moving into the month of August there, this is like you submerging yourself into a more calmer energy. I feel like, yes, you're connected to your hopes, dreams, and wishes there, because water is always the vision of whatever it is you desire to achieve. But I feel this can be that emotionally, you're dealing with the repercussions of the month before. It feels calm. It feels like you are kind of like doing a deep dive regarding it. It feels like you've taken yourself away to really dissect it, process it. I would say this is also, you know, where you just feel a lot more calm in your working environment than you have been for a while. So if you're in a career, by this point, I feel this is busy, busy, busy. This is you under pressure, okay? And then the next month, it feels calmer. It just feels like, you know, you are in the flow. But also, I feel like you have to make a decision this month. I'm getting strong decision vibes. And you're making the right decision, is what I'm seeing there. Fishes are surrounding this figure. Fishes are always about abundance, okay, and being in the flow. But I feel like you have to make a major decision. And you may take yourself off briefly to have moments of quietness and limit access to you. Definitely, because I feel as you move into the month of September there, I feel this is about you kind of like needing to get away or needing to be by yourself. Also, I feel like, this is you deep in thought about your life, your legacy. You're moving into birthday season energy. And of course, you're thinking about your life there. And I feel because this figure almost looks like they're in the womb. So this could be that there's a lot of nostalgia about childhood, about comfort, about safety. I mean, as we mature, life, it's a wild ride. Sometimes it's exciting and fun and carefree, and other times there's a lot of responsibility, worry, fear. And it can be that you really yearn in this month for things to feel like they did when you were a little bit younger, where you were kind of like aware that, not everybody has the best upbringing or childhood, a lot of trauma could have gone on there, but you may be doing a deep dive emotionally to release some things. But also there is this energy of like desiring that kind of suspension in innocence that's coming through in this card. Like, you know what? I wish it was easier. It comes off the back of the previous month. So whatever's going on there, I mean, let's make it a little bit more real. So for example, if you are moving this year, this could be that you're under a lot of pressure. It's all coming together. You're getting it done. It's very exciting, but you've got your life in boxes and it feels a little bit chaotic. Then suddenly, there's a big castle there, which can represent a home. Suddenly you're there. You're submerging yourself in the peace of having it all complete. You're planting roots and you're just like, and relax. This is a big like bath month kind of energy where you're like just decompressing in some way. So I want you to be aware that whenever there's pressure, I'm not saying it's going to be like super negative. Yeah, look, we're moving into your season. We've got the Hermit there, Virgo energy. This is about you hibernating, going off grid a little bit, limiting access to you in some way, and just going inwards for counsel, thinking about your life, ruminating. It's a big review energy, but also it's about honoring your mental well-being. Could do a lot of journaling during this time. For some of you, if the funds allow, you could be thinking about having a getaway in this month, even a spiritual retreat for some of you. Or it could be like a place that you go to that does some sort of yoga or some mindfulness, or maybe it's just by the sea or by water. There's a cleansing element. Some of you may even be downloading during this month sounds of water that just help cleanse your mind or clear your mind there. I'd also say this is you doing a cleanse during this period as well. But as I said, you're still focused on your dreams. There's literally, a mirror there and a hand with, of course, a dream catcher. So I feel this is you kind of like focused on the dream still, but kind of like suspending things or putting things a little bit on hold so that you just lean into yourself and give back to yourself during this period. The bear represents this endurance. So it feels very much like you've come a long way by this point. You should be really proud of yourself, but you're constantly evolving. So it's like you're taking a temporary time out in order to regroup your energy. And then it feels like you're back in the fray right about October. So it's almost like your do not disturb sign is kind of on as you move through this period. Of course, we're in September now by this period. So, we're fully engaged in Virgo season. And as you can see, there's a lot of rest. This person is literally sleeping on ice-capped mountains. So this could be that, you're just limiting access to people. Maybe during this period as well, you're promising yourself to not be on your cell phone as much, or, trying to find quiet time or silence the noise. And this can be personally, but also it can be in terms of your activity. So I would say a lot of you during this period, it's a getaway. So you may treat yourself to a getaway there. Lots of rest going on. But as you can see, this figure is on the mountaintop. So it can be that, yeah, you're still, wanting to achieve more. You still have more mountains to climb there, but you've got to a certain level where the view is incredible. So there's a lot of success. I would say that you have many success points. I would say the end of January is a great one. Something transformative that you will celebrate in February there as well. March, there's some minor celebration, good news energy. April is where it all kicks off. Very exciting. And that goes into May there as well. And then I would say that this is a quiet lull period, and then exciting happens in October there for you. But clarity, as I said, I feel a lot of you are trying to make a decision, and you finally gain clarity and you know what to do. You know how to move forward next with this. When you get this card number 16, 16 is actually Tower energy. I love the Tower. It's not a negative card. It means restructure. It can be that you're getting a different viewpoint of your life, or it can be that you're releasing yourself from a stuck period. It can be that you got into some sort of routine, that you want to break out of. You're trying really hard to keep evolving here, and you smash through a glass ceiling. You're a tower of power. The Tower is actually a rebuilding period as well, rebuilding your energy. It doesn't always have to be that something went wrong. It can indicate that, you're tired. You've been building something. You've been elevating, and you're at a really high point at this period. So I feel this is about you kind of like decompressing completely. And, number 16 is foundation energy. So it tells me that you're building towards something, but you may have had to build differently in some way. Also, this is an advantage point. Okay. This figure is literally at an advantage point where she feels comfortable enough to take a rest and have a sleep, have a nap, right? So I feel like you could put some projects on hold during this period. This is a period where, you want to be a little bit more independent. Yes, you're going to connect socially to people that you really care about, but you may actually have a date night for yourself during this period, or do something for you, go off and do something alone. I feel you're developing simplicity in this month there as well, and that there's more to life than just doing. You're a human being, and I feel like you're leaning into that. You've been resilient your whole life, and I feel like you are building circumstances where you just naturally adapt, and you feel comfortable where you are in this period there as well. Whenever you have mountains, it normally means that you're elevating in some way and limiting noise so that you can focus on mindfulness. I would say you get really great sleep in this month. You're on top of your sleeping levels, but also I would say during this period, you may gain some clarity on something that was like a vitamin or mineral deficiency that has given you trouble with sleeping. One of you as well, there could be something hormonal related in the month of August there, and it comes from July as well, so you may start to see symptoms of something coming on in there, but I feel like you manage to cancel it out. You get to grips with it or on top of it in the month of September there as well, okay? Now, I feel this is you kind of like, it's not that your dreams and goals are on hold during this period or that you're not doing, it just feels like you're more comfortable with things there. And I'm just going to pull a quick card on that because, it literally says Clarity Mountain. So I feel a lot of you, there may be this period where, especially with the pressure and something that's going on in this period, some of you may have felt a little bit unappreciated by this point. I got to be honest with you, but I do see some appreciation conversation here as well. But you may have felt alone with something, or you may have felt, because there is a difference between solitary energy and feeling lonely. Okay, and I feel this is about being solitary and enjoying your alone time. But, I feel a lot of you, this could be a period where people are away, or, if you feel like there's nobody about, it can be that, you set to thinking about joining new groups again, or getting more integrated in, almost feels like a pause. So there may be something that you're involved in that takes a temporary kind of like period of pause. So I don't know what that could be. Like if, for example, you do an art class every weekend, right? It can be that it's something that's run throughout the whole year, but during the months of like August and September, there's like a hiatus point where, everybody goes off and does their own thing. And then you come back together and you restart in the month of October, for example. This could also be a period where, like, if you have children, they go off to college, or there's, or they go back to school, for example. So if you have children, it can be that you're fully submerged in a world with the people that you love, because water is always connected to people that you care about. And of course, then they go back to school, for example, and now you can like fully rest and then focus on the things that are important to you in other areas like your career or the other activities that you have to do there. But also, if you're retired, this could be a period where you actually go off and do a lot of things independently, even if you have a partner and they're retired with you, or even if you have friends who've retired at the same time. I mean, a lot of you, if you have retired this year or you are retired, you may notice that you're at odds with people's schedule during this period or time, and you may feel like you have a lot of alone time. So you may find a lot of time in the home space and just, lean into that kind of energy, like movies on a rainy day kind of energy there. Introspection and spending it with people that you really care about. I mean, I feel you get a lot of messages from people that really love you and care about you. They may not be in your life all the time, but I do see messages coming on in. We've got that hermit energy again, so it tells me that this is hibernation period for you. Birthday season is about thinking about your legacy and what you've been building so far and how far you want to go next. You want to reach higher, but you're at that level where you're like, and relax and regroup and move forward. So I really feel that it's still connected to the previous month. You're looking at your options. Lover's card is all about choice there, but I feel this is about you romancing your life a little bit more as well. It's about you, leaning into finding those ingredients that you love in your life and having more of that, expanding on that. But also it's about finding pleasure, enjoying yourself, connecting to your desires. This is your month for you to really bond with yourself, or be passionate about the things that you do and connect to all the people you care about. This is your commitments you love, okay? And by this point, I do feel that if you're in a relationship with someone new as well, doesn't have to be with your partner. I feel like this could be that you and your partner are really extra intimate with each other and have a getaway where basically it's just you two against the world, as it were, or you kind of phase out the rest of the world. It's quiet time for both of you there, and you lean into that intimacy and develop a really loving bond even further there. I would also say that for some of you, if your partner is proposing a getaway, and if you're not engaged, I feel that there could be an engagement announced in around this date there. Your partner could propose there, bring you away by yourself, and then the next month is exciting. It's like you're entering into the relationship with a new status. Now you're fiancés, for example. Some of you may even renew your vows with your partner if you are in a long-term marriage with that person. But as we move into the month of October there, it's all systems go. You're bold, you're daring, you're excited to get back out there again after a period of pause, rest, recuperation, recalibration. You're still brainstorming. There's a lot of mindfulness to this, a lot of peace, a lot of yoga, if you do yoga, or some sort of like stretching activity, a lot of like thought going on in the month of September there. But October, it feels like it is all systems go. And it literally says there, bravery oceans. So you're back in the fray of your goals and dreams, and you're balanced. It feels like a recalibration of your body, mind, and soul. Everything is in order. It just feels like, also there's something here. It could be about vitamins, deficiencies, or minerals, or something like that. It feels like something gets frozen out or canceled out there. For some of you, there could be like a procedure where you freeze something. I'm not sure. Coming out in the month of September or in around this period of the year. But I'll just leave it like that. But I feel, this is number 30 when you reduce it. It's number 3, of course. So it feels like you're back in the 3 vibration, connected to hopes, dreams, and wishes. And maybe even, having a daring new approach, or kind of trying something new that can help you advance in some way. You're on top of your bills during this month. A lot of you may also cancel out debt this part of the year. You may actually pay off something finally by this point, and you feel a little bit more financially free during this time, or you feel like your money has got to a certain level in the month of September, and you may like refrain from actually like overspending, or you're canceling out anything that drains your finances, and it just feels like you may have more money to play with in the month of October there as well. Okay, now this card, of course, it indicates that you're going forth to explore, And of course, it indicates that, you know, if you're a bit of a homebody during this period, or you feel like you've been keeping an eye on your progress, but you still feel like you have the shore in sight, as it were, it can indicate that you want to just go further afield. I feel like you've been brave in your choices by this point, and you're not fearful of the next steps. Also, I feel like this playful side comes out. This would be a great month to really show off your skills, step into the spotlight. You know, I feel like you're someone who's really great at what you do, and it can be that you're highlighting, you know what, I could do it so well, whatever this is, that I don't even need to have hands on. I'm just doing it. So I feel this is about, you know, broadening your horizons there as well. And during this period, if you're thinking about going overseas, migrating your life, I would say this is the point where it's actually really happening. Okay, or you're getting to grips with the rhythm of a new place there. So I feel, you know, locking in some sort of migration could happen during this period. But I feel this is about being bold in your choices and making sure that you constantly are out of your comfort zone, and could be even exploring you. I feel like there's hidden side of you that comes out to light. Very fun, very playful. It's there. You're always very fun to be with. I love being with my beautiful Virgos. But this could be that, you know, hidden talent or something that's untapped, or you take a walk on the wild side in the month of October. I mean, in terms of your money, I feel like you are staying balanced. Okay, you're on top of things. Everything's running smoothly. We've got, taking a walk on the wild side. We've got the Strength card. This is the bold lion, having a lot of power in a situation, being balanced, giving back in terms of self-care. You know, this is an energy of having the courage. That's what it is. It is the Strength card, to have courage to follow your heart. And this is definitely the courage. So this could be, as I said, either a partner kind of like popping the question, or you could be offered something and you're just going for it. This is definitely the month to just go for it, whatever it is. Goal, dream, manifestation, new goals, new intentions. It almost feels like you know, push yourself a little bit further out of the comfort zone, as I said there. What you can see in your mind, you can have in your hand. And a lot of thinking time has gone on here, so it feels like you're taking action. You're jumping into the fray, and the Magician card indicates a lot of focus. It also means that you are making something happen, okay? And you're going to have all the resources to make it happen. It feels that a lot of accomplishment goes on in this month, and you have the confidence to do it, and it happens with ease, okay? Yes, you're very focused this month, and doesn't matter where you're headed, it feels like you're adapting to make sure that you get there, okay? I would also say this is a month that you've got this. You know, you're just on top of things, and is there anything else? I feel like you've overcome an obstacle by this point as well. And I just feel like you're more confident, more flamboyant. A lot of social activity going on here as well there for you. I would say also invitations to weddings or birthdays or something overseas could occur this period as well. I'm just going to get a little bit more information on this month, because I feel like there's a lot happening, but I'm just being given kind of this energy of like it's connected to your dreams. Queen of Wands, it's a glow up month for you. It's exciting. You're out there. You're happening to life. You're a magnet. You know, you just got the Magician card. And when you actually clarify with a Queen of Wands, it means that you're magnetizing opportunity towards you. It means you're inspired. It means that a very sensual, passionate month where you're in a position of power. People are watching you. They're seeing you. They want to be part of your world in some way. For a lot of you, you could get some communication from overseas as well. Here, I would say this is a month to kind of flirt with life, right? When you get the Queen of Wands, it's about you leading with passion towards something. I would also say you treat yourself to a little something this month. It could be something physical, tangible there as well. It feels expensive, whatever it is. When it comes to your money, as I said, I feel it's you staying on top of things, but this is like when you splash the cash a little bit. So it could be some large purchase going on there. Not as large as round about this period, but it feels like it's something a little bit nice to give back to yourself. If you're entering into an auction for something, so random, but if you are, I feel like you get it, whatever it is, at a really good price there as well. So a lot of flirtation, a lot of like home building, a lot of excitement in this month. But I feel there's a lot of luck. Queen of Wands is the only suit, you know, that has no salamanders or geckos in the card. So if you know the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, the suit of Wands, we have the King, we have the Page, we have the Knight, of course. They all have salamanders, geckos, depends on the deck there, but they tend to have those symbols as protection. But the Queen of Wands is the only one that has a black cat, which means luck. Luck is on her side. She does not need protection because luck is on her side. So this means that this is a big month to be bold and daring because the universe is on your side, is having your back, and is pushing you forward in some way. So advancement opportunities, there could be some news that comes in, especially to do with your career, that puts a spring in your step to either expand your reach or move into markets that are, you know, not typical for you. You're making a bold move in some way. I would say it could be a bold financial move during this period, or you're being pushed, or even a test occurs for you, or you take a test in some way that helps you advance, okay? But you're going to take a lot of pleasure in this month. And as we move into November, TikTok, you are very disciplined, structured. Time is working for you. It's on your side, but I feel like you're paying attention to time, and there could be something here in this month as well that you feel a slight resistance to. And it's not that you're going to ignore it, but you may notice that you procrastinate to avoid it. So random that it's come out there, but I feel like you find the root cause of any moments of procrastination. Now, you don't typically procrastinate there, my beautiful Virgo, but it could be something here that you need to do that requires your time, and you're like, oh gosh, you know, whenever I have like something big that is looming, whether it's a deadline or whether it, because we've got the clock there, so it could be a deadline, you know, suddenly I want to spring into action and do the dishes. Suddenly I'm getting the vacuum out and I'm doing all the vacuuming and I'm doing all this stuff, and I'm like, oh, I'm doing all this stuff, and I know there's one thing that's critical that I got to do, you know. So I feel there could be something in around that month. You're like, okay. Suddenly I feel an urge to clear out that closet. What are you avoiding? Okay, is it signing a document? Is it applying for something? Is it replying to some correspondence? Is it, you know, kind of printing something out? It could be something so mundane that, you know, we think, oh gosh, I got to do that thing. But are you doing so many other things to avoid that one thing? So I feel there could be a little bit of like taking ownership of your time in this month. High Priestess energy. Intuitively, you know there's something you need to do there. I mean, when you have that card, it can indicate that there's an opportunity coming on in that is time sensitive as well. You don't want to miss that opportunity. Also, you may actually like look at who is wasting your time. There could be someone who cancels on you during this month, or someone has been wasting your time on something and you're like, you know what, I'm just taking back ownership of my time and not giving the power to somebody else. Also, I mean, time may just literally be on your mind, that you have, you know, stuff to do and you just want to own your time and live life as best you know how. I would also say that, I mean, this brain is lit up, so you may be honoring your brain health with like brain teasers or games that activate your mind and make it work in a different way. I mean, even things like somatic breathing, it informs your breath and your brain in a different way. So this could be that you are reshaping the synapses or landscapes of your brain through certain practices or courses of learning. So you may, you know, do some sort of time-sensitive learning or studying during this period, because you're learning something. Yeah, I mean, there's new knowledge here. With those two cards, this is you informing inside of your mind, you know, and kind of learning more about yourself, and lots of deep thought, cerebral activity going on about time, how you use it. So it could be that, you know, taking a good quality rest is important. And when you decide definitively that you're going to take a day off and you're going to go to a gallery, or you're going to take a day off and just poodle around the home to do stuff, whatever it is, that's you owning your time. But if you're doom scrolling for half an hour and suddenly it turns into an hour on the cell phone, you know, I love it. You know, I will sit there for ages when I've got a bit of time, and I will look at all those cats doing those wonderful things. I'll look at all those dogs giving side eye. You know, I'll look at all these things that just make me laugh. And you know, of course, we need light relief from life and pressure. But if that light relief turns into like half an hour, a couple of hours, and then suddenly we feel, oh, I'm completely drained. I've given all my time to all those reels. It can be that, you know, you're dipping in from time to time, just honoring your time and making a declaration to self that you utilize your time to move forward, flow forward, or elevate in some way to benefit you. So I would say this is a big month for you to kind of like use your time effectively to nourish your mind. Okay, so that's coming through there as well. Important meetings, leave a little bit earlier for them. And I feel there could be something that unlocks something positive for you in this month. And I just feel that there is this getting an answer energy coming through as well. So if you're waiting for an answer on something, I feel like the answer comes through in this month, but you may be watching the clock thinking it hasn't come through yet. And you may be wondering, oh, is this a negative outcome because, you know, it hasn't come through yet? But no, patience. Yeah, temperance. Just wait. Wait it out. It's coming through. It's going to be good news. Surrender is, you know, trust the pause. So if tick-tock, something isn't coming in or isn't happening, I feel, you know, you could nudge it along, but not in an impatient way. It feels like just wait it out. It's going to happen. Or give that nudge, and then you will patiently get that answer coming through. There is purpose in pause. The Temperance card is also about your sense of purpose. So as I said, it's like, you know, take pause with intention in some way in this month there. Temperance cards is a lot of alchemy. It means things are bubbling up. It means you're blending things. It means you're utilizing your time. A big time to kind of like multitask during this period. And something that perhaps you've been waiting for to come in, it will come in the month of November. It is good news, whatever it is. It just feels super positive. I'm just seeing something in the water. I'm seeing a feather. I'm seeing a fleur-de-lis. What is that? A lily. Okay, I'm seeing a lily as well. So lily is about something you're passionate about, something that potentially you feel could help expand or grow, something you're connected to, but has also the potential to be cut short. And the fleur-de-lis is emperor energy. It means something structured, positive, or successful, something that gives you a lot of power or maybe helps you lead in some way. And the feather is protection, a message from spirit or an acknowledgement that your guides have got your back. Okay, so relax in this month. If there's something that you're worried about or, you know, you start to overthink there due to time, just relax. Know that it is as it is, and what is meant for you will never pass you by, okay? Now, as we move into December, you know, this is literally you kind of like exploring new kind of pathways. This is you like perhaps engaging in things that are different, that you've never tried before, because, you know, this is literally an astronaut, which is going to places that are unknown to them. So you're exploring your neighborhood in a different way, but also this is a risk month. So I would say it's an educated risk that you take. So there could be some knowledge or something that comes in November that helps you take this elevated risk, because the spaceman or the astronaut is super positive, right? It means you're elevating above your expectations in some way. It means that you're getting a bird's eye look, or, you know, an astronaut look at your life. You're looking at your goals as a whole, the sum of all things, and you've come a long way. And the umbrella in the center indicates you've been protected. It also indicates that you're exploring new pathways. You're giving wonder to your soul and your heart during this month. So I feel like you lean into the sparkle in this month, whatever that means for you. This could be that you're carefully looking at your plan as you start to wind down the year. You're realizing that, you know, it is like a rollover kind of month for you where you still want to elevate, but you're kind of like assessing things from a distance, detaching in some way in order to reflect on the path, because that figure is literally on the path. Now it says there adventure south, so a lot of you could be traveling during this time, or, you know, south can indicate that you're also looking at direction. Maybe you're looking at the places you didn't explore during the year and setting yourself up to actually make sure you factor that in for the next year. You're definitely closing out a cycle in the month of December there, but you're looking carefully at your aspirations. And, you know, this card can indicate that something was amiss this year. You achieved so much, but because you're expanding all the time, once you accomplish something, you're on to the next. Humans, naturally, they always want to build and have more. You know, you get satisfied to a certain position, you're content, and then suddenly you get that pressure energy where you're like, okay, now I want more. And that doesn't mean you're greedy. It means you're evolving. It means that you're expanding. And I would say here, in terms of finances, a lot of you may get like an overreaching view of your finances in order to protect your finances. So you may be trying to make sure you don't overspend during this month. I would say a lot of you are also thinking about new opportunities for the year ahead, 2027. You're constantly forward thinking there. But I feel a lot of you will do new things in this month, new things that you haven't done before, having conversations, or perhaps go to different places. But I also feel there is this energy of feeling like things are so different this year. It's almost like you're elevated out of your life in some way where things are not the same. You dedicated yourself in a way where you progressed, you upgraded in many different levels. I just feel that a lot of you are going to look back and see that you've come a long way. And you're still attached to home in some way. You still have found a way to plant roots. You're grounded in the plan, but you've come a long way. And you're detaching in the month of December in order to kind of like still stay on top of your goals. And you're still connected to responsibility, but it feels like this energy of floating. You know, weightlessness, because of course you've got that astronaut there. There also could be something globally where perhaps there is some sort of breakthrough in space travel during this period. We've got higher calling and the Devil card. Now, the Devil card is not an evil card. The Devil card can indicate that you're leaning into your passions to excess. This is a period of like going to parties and being more sociably active, but also, you know, leaning into that excessive kind of like party season, as it were. Also, it can be, because look, there's another clock there, so it could be that you're working on something obsessively and you manage to elevate through it. You're owning your time, and now you're still thinking about time and your passions, and you know, this is also a period where there could be some excess spending, so you're trying to keep an eye on that, I would say. But this is the lust for life. I would say also potential for major flirtation going on in the month of December, whether you're in a relationship or not. There could be someone who reveals their feelings for you, and you do the right thing. You may actually judge this person, especially if you're with a person, okay? If you're committed to somebody, because a lot of you will be committed to somebody by the end of this year. And some of you are already committed to somebody. But I do see someone flirting with you, and this could come under the influence, but they have real feelings for you, whoever this person is. So this person is tempted to kind of like, you know, be a little bit dramatic and say, this is how I feel. And they know you're with someone by this point. And you may judge, because this is the Judgment card, you may judge their actions and feel that it kind of transforms your relationship, and you're not happy about that, but I feel like you do the right thing. Whatever the right thing is for you there. But that's come through, so I have to honor it. The shadow self is an energy that sometimes, my beautiful Virgo, you can be a little bit critical with yourself. And as you close out the end of the year in December there, it could be that you've done so much and you've accomplished so many things and you've come such a long way, but still you focus on the things that you feel you didn't complete. This is something that you will try to conquer in your nature, intrusive thoughts. You need to have a little bit more compassion with yourself and acknowledge that you're doing a great job. And our job here on this earthly plane is to shine our light, take up more space, and be the best you can be. And remember, we are human beings. You don't have to be human doings, but there's going to be a lot of progress going on here as well. A lot of you, very nostalgic in this period, could raise some challenging emotions around this period as well, of course. So you may want to detach because you're going to be thinking deeply. I mean, also a lot of you will be thinking about toxicity, because the Devil card can be toxic things that perhaps you want to cut out, like you're making a declaration to self to cut out for the following year, okay? But you've also got the Higher Calling card, which is the Judgment energy. It means that, you know, as you close out a year, you're renewing all the things that perhaps you have been trying to stay on top of. There's an energy here of examining where you feel like you've been this year and where you want to take things to next. It feels like closure and a restart, okay? And lots of revelations along the way. I mean, a lot of you are going to have revelations about money. To be stricter, Saturn is showing up again in another card, so that means, you know, you're being stricter with your finances. You may also just be called to let your hair down and be footloose and fancy free in that month as well. Also, this could be a period where, you know, families come together, and that can trigger some challenging emotions or thoughts, and I would say there could be some challenging conversations in and around that period that you want to detach from, is what I'm seeing there. So you may kind of like remove yourself, even though you're there. I mean, psychically, you could remove yourself and go to your rich imagination. But I do also see, because the Judgment card is there with the Devil card, you may call some people out and say, hey, you can't talk to me like that. We've got the Crossroads, and we've also got the Cross, and we've got the Sun. Okay, I only take the uprights just so you're aware. So I want to make you aware that, you know, that Sun, it did turn up in reverse there, but, you know, I only picked the uprights on the cards. We got Crossroads, so this can indicate you're focused on direction. It indicates you have many pathways to explore, but the Crossroads can indicate that if you have been feeling stuck or a little bit lost, you are being more decisive this year, and you're picking a path. You're sticking to it, but you're not afraid to explore the alternative, which can also enrich your soul. I would say as well, new pathways are opening up for you this year, and I would say stepping stones. Sometimes a little plot twist can lead to, you know, some exciting new beginnings as well. And the plot twist month for you would be February. We've also got Cross. This is about the sacrifices you make in order to get to where you want to go. It indicates that, you know, you're not afraid of hard work, but also it indicates you're doing something that is meaningful to you. Also, the Cross, my readings are not about religion, but I have to honor the fact that this can be that you reaffirm your belief system or lean more into your faith, have belief in yourself, and have more omens or signs and symbols, because your first card is a signpost. There can be lots of signs and symbols that help you elevate in some way, because I feel like there's an element here of simplicity. You just want to be happy, but also success. You're putting a spotlight on your life, and there's a lot of growth here as well. And I feel this is about you owning your truth and having clarity, but also like having the energy to push on through. Last year, you may have been exhausted. This year, more energy, more excitement, more passion, more advancement opportunities. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Anything more for my beautiful Virgo? I think I should stop there because of the way that they bounced out of the deck there. So we have learn how to honor and treat your body well. Definitely mindfulness, body, mind, and soul, enriching your body with certain food substances there. As I said, I saw this kind of like yoga thing. It was a theme coming through, or stretching. I think I did mention that in the reading earlier. So some of you may be stretching your body in different ways. But I also feel this is about being grounded and having the nutrients that inform your body to make you feel on top of things. And travel as much as you can. This will add dimension to your life. I mean, traveling can be so many different things. It can be that you're just taking different routes to work or to familiar places, because it can indicate that with that Crossroads, there's a route you always take. Is this the year that you explore a different route? The destination, remember I got that energy at the beginning? Destination is constant elevation, and I definitely see elevation here. So it's about taking certain paths, and some paths are more interesting than others. Which path are you choosing? And finally, we've got you're creating a you that you will be proud of. I'm loving that. So elevating in terms of who you are, getting to know yourself big time this year, but also looking back on the year going, I'm so proud I did that. And you may even surprise yourself, but I'm not surprised because I see so many good things happening here for you, okay? So I'll leave it there. I'm just going to go and get a trinket or rune before we close. Ooh, oh, we got a rune here. Interesting. So we have the elk rune. Okay, now of course this rune is all about friendship. So whilst you're off doing all of your tasks, responsibilities, and living life, a lot of you, this is about nourishing friendships this year as well. But this is actually one of the most optimistic rune in the rune kind of collection, as it were, and it indicates a lot of good fortune. It indicates a lot of positive things coming on in for you. It was in the upright when it came out there, but also I feel a lot of you will meet new people this year, new alliances, new friendships being formed as well, even overseas. Some of you may even decide to, seek out pen friends, or because I see a move towards more handwritten things. So some of you could be doing that at this time as well, or thinking about that, joining groups that are overseas, or having a pen friend. But I feel a lot of you are getting involved, okay? And you will find deeper friendships this year, deeper conversations there as well, okay? And people being sent to you from the universe to help you in all your endeavors. If you've been feeling vulnerable last year in any area of your life, the universe makes sure that you are protected and looked after in this year ahead, okay? So I'll leave it there, my beautiful Virgo. I hope there's something in that reading that can help in some way. Thank you so much, and love and light.